All right. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy
Happy
Friday, Jay. What's
Friday.
up,
What's going on? This is a good
man?
day.
It is. Listen, it was a tough week, but hey, we made it till Friday at least.
Did we not?
Okay.
Listen, I ain't
One of
think
them,
Friday was going to get here quick enough. I mean, it's been a week, but it's a good week.
for sure.
We're here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I said we're here. We're ready to have the best conversation possible. And I'm excited. I can't wait for the weekend. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. And I want to go fishing. That's all I can say.
Hey, I went fishing earlier this week. I ain't catch one thing.
Wait, where you
Right out
went?
my
You
back
went to
gate.
like salt water, you went fresh water.
Nope, right out my back gate to that pond.
And ain't nothing was out there. Oh man, we got to go.
Nothing there.
I want to come down there just to see.
You welcome to it, man. But listen, so today's topic we are talking about the end of the road and not the boys to men song "End of the Road," but
Listen, come on, boys and
okay,
men.
because it's the first thing I thought about. But hey, we talk about the end of the road in terms of relationships,
Right,
partnerships,
right.
marriages, friendships, family relationships, what have you, right? We're going to talk about healthy ways in which to kind of navigate those conversations. And we hope to just offer you some positive words and insight based on our experiences as, seasoned adults, and hope
Come
you
on,
take our word
season.
for it. Okay.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
So now, when I first talked about this or thought about this subject, right, to talk about, I think I shared it with you earlier. I really wish I had, this conversation or thought process when I was in my 20s, right?
Hmm.
Only because that would have helped me navigate a lot of relationships, a lot of partnerships, a lot of people just in my life to be able to know one, when to let go, right?
Right.
And, how to do that in a healthy way so that there's some sort of friendship or some sort of decorum or something left there, without
Right.
it just
Right.
being a
Right.
negative experience. So, have you thought about how to end relationships in terms of a healthy way?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I have to give it from two different perspectives.
Okay.
So I'm a firm believer that relationships will end themselves.
Ah,
I don't actively end a relationship. Now, I have,
okay.
but I don't actively end a relationship because I feel as you continue to grow, as you grow, things fall off.
Sure.
As you continue to progress, you move to different levels. So then the just because you may not be have a friendship or a everyday relationship with that person doesn't, one, not make them a friend anymore, and
Right.
then two, I feel that as you grow, friendships change.
Right.
So some people can look at that as a breakup, they can look at that as, an issue, whatever, like that. Now I'm a Cancer,
Okay.
and when I'm done, I'm done.
It's a wrap.
And it's a wrap. And that's in relationships, that's with anything. But it just takes me so long. When I
Ah,
say long, it could be years.
okay.
And I will stick in it. But then one day, something to click, and it
Yeah.
is. I will listen. I got people now. You wouldn't even know that we ever met,
Wow.
because when I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just how I didn't even with relationships, I didn't understand the concept that a lot of people that I met up here in Maryland
Yeah.
have to where, oh, we're still friends. No, when you break up, you break up. And I live
Yeah.
like that. But then I get down here and everybody like, oh no, we're still friends. That's my homegirl. No, no, we're broke up. Like there's no friendship outside of that. And
Yeah.
I tried to have a
Okay.
friendship, and then I'm like, for what? You pissed me off. You made me hurt me. I don't want that.
Right. So
You
there is
know,
a conversation then.
it is no, yeah, it is a conversation.
Okay.
Like my ex prior to my wife,
Okay.
we were in a situationship,
Okay.
and we just made a decision. It was like September or something, and we said, um, "Oh, our tonight's topic is the end of the road. how to break off, be a healthy break of a relationship or friendship. That's what someone asked it. I mean, my wife asked in the comments.
Yeah.
So my ex, prior to my wife, we literally, both of us was cancers. And we literally woke up and was like, October 1st is going to be our last day.
Mm.
And she was like, okay. I'm like, okay. We were the most loving. It was the best couple of weeks.
Mm.
And October 1st, I walked my way, she walked her way, and we didn't speak.
Wow.
And we were around the same people. We had the same set of friends. We still do. The same set of friends. We was in the same space. I act as if she didn't exist. I would go around and hug everybody. I'm dancing, and bloop, bloop, bloop. I don't even say, hey, and I don't know what it is in me, but when it's done, it's done.
It's done.
And I had that same experience with a really good friend of mine. It was my first friend was, my first friend as a stud. She was a stud. So that was my first stud friend. You couldn't listen. We worked together. We lived in the same area. We was together. That was my girl. We was everything. And she cheated. She slept with my girlfriend.
Oh.
I let you in my house, and then not only did you do that, you wrote a song about it.
Oh man, no, she didn't.
Oh, young and dumb. So we broke our friendship, and then she came back later and apologized. And I said, me and my ex, we broke up because I've only been in 3 real relationships. So anyway, I know.
Yeah.
So we broke up and everything. And I tried to invite her back in my life because she was like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have did that. It was a lot. I gave her a chance. We went out of town for her birthday, and we having a good time. I'm celebrating her birthday with her. I drove. So we all having a good time. And the day before we were supposed to leave, I woke up. I said, I'm ready to go home. And she said, okay. We got in the car. It was silence all the way home.
Wow.
I dropped off the house, and it has been over. Yeah. And we never smoked from that day.
Wow.
I had released it and it was done.
Yeah.
And so I can go either way. I let you break that friendship because I don't want to break a friendship.
Sure.
I feel, Cola, talk with Cola, they had a conversation last night similar to this.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, I don't break friendships. I don't. You gonna break this because I'm a good friend.
Yeah.
Now, am I that friend that you want or that you need? You determine that. But I know I'm a good friend.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's it. And it's so like, I'm not going to do anything but what I can as a friend. And so, friends make mistakes, but friends don't intentionally hurt you. They don't do it. And I know I'm a good friend. A friend is going to come through for you. I'm a good friend. So why I'm not going to tell you how to be my friend. I want you to show up as the person you are. And I have the right to say, I'm your friend or you're my friend. But if you show up as something else, I'm okay with that. It's no issue because I'm not lacking in the friend department.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you could treat that person according to how they're acting, right? You don't have to force anything.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I get it. No, I mean, that's a great point. I mean, I in terms of friendships, I'm pretty fluid. I'm a pretty even keel type person. Although I am a Taurus and we in Taurus season. So one time in the chat for Tauruses. However,
me and Tauruses get along very well.
See, that explains
exactly.
But I can say for relationships, there's been times where I think because in my earlier years in 18 or as a teen and early 20s, I was just so not interested in being in a committed anything. I wanted to enjoy life,
living your life,
right? And so I think for me, in terms of relationships, it was always difficult for me to have that conversation around, listen, whatever this is, I just don't desire it anymore and move on. So I just, and instead of having to commit, it was just easier not to have anything to commit to and just allow, like you said, for that friendship or that relationship or whatever to die away, right? We're gonna go our separate ways. I'll do whatever what I'm gonna do, and you're gonna do what you want to do. And there's no bad blood. If we see each other 5 years from now, 10 years from now, then hey, how you doing? What's going on? Great, and just keep it moving.
And I think and maybe that's a part of me that don't resonate, because after a couple of months, I don't forget what you look like. And the crazy part, I say it jokingly, but it's true. I don't remember. When it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's out of sight, out of mind. And it's like, I've had people when I was in Atlanta living my best gay life. I had people that would come like, you remember me? And I'm like, no,
give them that smile.
I was at my high school my high school reunion, and so many people came up to me, Joe, and I'm sitting there like, yo.
Silence.
I don't know, but I would act like you wouldn't think I don't know you. Yo, oh my God, it's been so long. And I'm like, I don't remember that girl from here to never. You weren't important then. So,
right. That part.
I probably wasn't important to you, and it doesn't matter. We're not going to make it important now. We're adults. We ain't got to fake.
Yeah.
But no, I think to a lot of people don't even consider that friendship breakup friendships is a relationship.
Yeah.
Because you build with that person. It depends on to me, it just depends on what level you're building with them on. Like, for example, I think that my relationship with you as a friend varies from my relationship with Sean. My relationship with Sean varies from my relationship with Cultivate. So it varies. Gotcha. And so it's things that, I could joke with you about that maybe will offend the next one. Like, even like I do with my friends. I got my best friend. I got this friend, my favorite friend, my friend. Everybody has a very special place. And everybody, I feel that everybody serves a purpose. And I don't call everybody my best friend. Absolutely not. Because because I trust very easily. I trust. And it has bit me in my ass, my foot, my neck on multiple occasions. So I keep it very limited. And then that's just it. Like, everybody has a special place, and I love everything about the people that's in my life.
Right.
And when we all progress to the new level, I might not be there in yours. You might not be there in mine. But that doesn't mean what we establish is not important or relevant. That's why I like to be that low maintenance friend. You ain't got to call me every day.
Man, what you talking about?
We ain't got to waste that kind of time.
I don't have
that. Doesn't mean I don't. And it hurts people's feelings when they be like, "Oh, I ain't heard from you. I ain't heard from you."
I get that. I get it. Yeah.
That's how I see it.
I 100% agree. I think a lot about me, myself personally. I've been in a couple significant relationships, right? One particularly, me and my wife got together. She and I were together for, I feel like it's been 10, maybe 10, between 10 and 11 years. And I think, I know for me, the way we ended the relationship was very toxic. And it was very harmful for both of us, right? And so for us to have shared so many years together and so much time and have love for one another, the way we treated each other was very, very wrong. And I vowed to myself not to hurt anyone else like that. Right. But there were some lessons that I had to learn for myself, and there's some growth that I had to learn. And what I hope she learned also was some things from our relationship. Right. But in terms of defining what closure looked like for us, it was defined for me a long period of time where we just could not talk.
Right.
We just cannot talk. We can't have any sort of social media engagement or exchange. We can't text. We can't. It's got to be that. Otherwise, we're going to fall right back in to the old habits that we've we've been dancing around for the last couple of years. And then after reflecting, I think it was for me a matter of not knowing when to let this relationship go, right? So that's a great question. At what point do we decide this relationship, this working relationship, this partnership, this marriage, this family ties that I have, when this does no longer serve me, when and how do I let it go?
That's loaded, because I think now in the lessons that we try to learn and what we try to do, we try to establish those boundaries, we try to set those. But then when you set those boundaries, it hinders a real person coming in, because you got that boundary and you're going based off of what it looked like. And it could just be the reflection of something, but not necessarily that thing. So I don't establish, I can say I don't establish when. I don't. I allow everything to run its natural course.
Its course. Okay.
Because the way I believe things happen is, one, I believe in the law of I believe in the karmic law.
Right.
I do believe in reciprocity. I do believe that everything happens in its reason, in its season, and at its time. So I don't have to say, I can make a decision within myself first. I'm not going to tell. So if me and, I'm going to say Coco, because I'm going to have to invoice her later and she might break up. But anyway, if me and Coco are at a point where we're no longer serving each other, because it's not about you serving me.
Yeah.
Are we serving each other? Because I might be the problem.
Okay.
So are we serving each other? If we realize that it's always a disconnect, it's always more give than receive, if it's not balanced, because I feel that any type of relationship has to have an equal yoke.
Okay.
We got to carry the same weight in this relationship.
That's a must.
You know, you don't have to do what I do, but you have to meet my energy. We have to match on what we both give. So if it's no longer given that, I don't have to have a conversation with you about it. I have a conversation with myself, because I need to determine, one, is it me? Am I looking at it from a broken lens because of a past experience and a hurt?
Yeah.
Is it me because I'm just being an asshole? Is it me? I look internally, and then I make the decision. All right, I want to make a change. I'm going to do X, Y, Z, because it's all about me fixing me.
Okay.
I can't fix you. I'm going to make a change. I'm going to do such and such differently. And then next thing you know, I start seeing Coco move out the way. I change. I don't want you to change who you are for me. Let me change, and then let's see where we are.
Okay.
And that's the only way that I see it, because I'm not going to set those boundaries, because I don't want to eliminate anybody else that's good for coming in, because I got a wall.
Okay.
That no new friends. No, I want some new friends, especially with money.
Okay.
I want new friends. You know, so that's just my thought pattern.
Well, let me just play devil's advocate right there. If that's the case, right? And let's say, for example, you don't have a conversation, or there's no closure for you, right? Or the other person doesn't understand that there's closure, and because you've recognized what you need to do and you've made some adjustments. At what point do you say, or can you say, what if they, circle back around from some years from now, and they want to work their way back into that position that they once were? Because there was no official closure, that door is kind of open, and it's kind of like a gray area. So it's really, some people just really need to have closure. And without
and
that,
I would agree, people do, but everybody don't. I don't need closure, because it determined on what happened. If you were that friend that we had a fight, it was something that we could not recover from, that is closure. I ain't got to come back and say, I don't know, it was closure.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know why. It's like when I say no, I tell people no is a complete sentence. I don't have to give you an explanation after that.
Yeah.
No. You know, so I don't feel some people need that. I don't, it's not necessary for me.
Uh-huh.
Because when you're sitting there trying to find closure, you're also going to try to find a reason or justify why it's still worth it. And that is a lesbian stereotype. We're going to stick there and stick it out and be so toxic with each other because you trying to figure out where the little bit to make it work when all of this is saying it shouldn't work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Be adult enough. See, when you're independent and you're adult and you're mature, you don't need to find the small reason and you don't need to find the big reason. The reason is a reason. It's not working.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's fine. We should normalize divorce. We should normalize a breakup because it happens. It's inevitable for some people. So why does it have to get ugly because we're no longer together?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean we don't have to be together in this capacity, but we can be together in another capacity. Right. We can co-parent. Right. We're better co-parents than we are together.
I can get that.
So it's like, let's normalize stuff that we be like even our lives. If one of us was separate from our spouse, the world would probably be in frenzy. And you'd be sitting there like, but I'm okay with it. Like we lived this thing and it just wasn't good for us. We needed to do this in order for us to be better. Who said we won't get back together later? I don't want closure because it's a possibility that we could be back together. I mean, it's a lot of people that gave it a second go and it was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you want closure or do you just want space enough to figure out what decision you need to make?
Right. Well, there was a question in the comments where I think Coco, she asked, what if the person doesn't want to let go? And
shoot them.
That we're not going to shoot them. What I have learned to do is I'm a type person. I want to be able to offer that person closure because at the same time, it's a teaching moment. Then that person needs to grow. Yeah. Maybe I need to grow, right? Because there's some things that I may have done or contributed to that relationship that wasn't of good favor, and they need to voice or explain that to me. Mm-hmm. But I don't mind telling the person, listen, I just feel as though you're incapable of loving me the way that I desire to be loved. It's not, I don't want you to change anything else, because if you could change anything else, then you would do that, because I've already demonstrated and showed you how I need to be loved, and you continue to do it the way you want to do, and it just does not work for me. So I tend to have those conversations for a lot of different reasons. And if at some point, if they grow in life and if we meet again for whatever reason, and it wasn't on bad terms, then, possibilities, maybe. However, I just try to give that person, some sort of closure so they can move on, learn what things they need to learn, and have their own journey in terms of figuring out what happened, right? Mm-hmm. When you leave it blank or you don't address those things, they left to be like, well, and something that ever happened to her. I don't know why she left me.
In your head, because in the Bible says every man is right in his own eyes. And that's perfectly fine in your head. What did Chrisette Michelle, she said, blame it on me. Tell them it's my fault. I'm okay with that. I could be the villain in your story because you're the crackhead in mine. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But you know what? One thing, but I stick on the whole outgrowing things, because have you ever seen a caterpillar become a butterfly and then go back in the cocoon to become a caterpillar?
Good point.
Why? Once you change, go with the change. Either you come fly with me in my beauty, or you be furry back here in this cocoon. Either way it go, it never changed who we were, how we met, and what relationship we have. We both was caterpillars. I decided to become.
Yeah.
So why? So, and again, that's why I'm real big on and I know this may be contrary to popular belief, but we grow upwardly. We grow vertically. We don't grow horizontally. Life growth does not do this. It does this. You get taller, you can get bigger, everything. Mm-hmm. Life goes up. Even spiritually, the word says you ascend and descend. So you're constantly going up and down, up and down. Your emotions go up, they go down. So when you go up to this level, to a different level of emotion, whether you went from hurt to love, then there's somebody at love that's ready to meet you. That person that's at hurt is not at the love moment to meet you. So then
Right.
therefore it is another friend there that's going to meet you there. So why, if that friend that's still at hurt ain't ready to come up to love, it ain't my job to go down there and get them. It ain't
Right.
my job, but that doesn't mean I'm not your friend. It's not my job to pull you up.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. That's a great point that you
Lord,
made.
Coco Thomas, somebody get wider. They do get wider though.
Yeah, that,
You're right
that
about
definitely
that.
happens, Coco. So now that we've learned that it's probably best that we, leave those things where they are, and learn what lessons we need to learn from them. And as we grow, we ascend and we descend. So that's a great point that you brought up, Joy. Great coaching.
Oh, thank you.
So
You're so sweet.
right. So how can you recommend or offer us some healthy ways, right, to be able to do that, right? We've talked about, sometimes silence is golden, or the relationship itself ending, or letting it dwindle itself away.
Mhm.
Are there other healthy means to be able to convey that, whether it's a friendship? It could be a family member, right? There's family
Mhm.
members that I will tell you right now, and they might be on Facebook. They only reach out to me when they want money,
Mhm.
right? So in my mind, I've decided, because I do too many things myself. I'm one person that is responsible for many.
Mhm.
I can't foresee myself working for what I work for and then me giving you money.
Mhm.
So there's times where I have to compartmentalize those family members, right?
Mhm.
And leave them where they are. I'm okay telling them that,
Right.
right? But similar to maybe a relationship with an ex or whatever, you say, hey, it's just not working or whatever. But there's got to be some healthy ways to have those
Mhm.
conversations, even if it's with a coworker, right? Or a job,
Yeah.
right? Say, hey, this is my 2 weeks notice, it's just not,
2
we're not
weeks.
aligned.
Oh, this is an at-will state. I'm out. You ain't give me no notice if you was gonna fire me. I'm out. You
You're
got,
right.
listen, I'm telling you as I'm walking.
Yeah.
That's closure.
That's a great point too, man. That's
Yeah.
what I say. I wish I had you
No,
at least 25, 30 years ago.
I think it's one, you can match that energy. Now,
Okay.
let's talk about matching energy. I'm
Okay.
not talking about y'all doing this, you're matching energy.
Yeah.
If you feel the energy of this person is changing,
Okay.
address it. Hey, I noticed things has changed. What's going on?
Okay.
Oh, it's nothing. It's this. They start acting, moving different. When people show you who they are, believe them.
That.
So allow them to change. It should not impede on your peace.
Yeah.
So then we go to the next step of, all right, me? I'm all about dealing with me. So am I growing? Am I changing? Because you attract who you are.
Uh-huh.
So again, if I'm attracting these type of rusty ass friends, maybe I'm a rusty ass friend and I need to figure out where the rust is and get rid of it.
Self-check, yeah.
Am I giving off availability to where my family is always asking for money? Me and you are the same on that one.
Okay.
It doesn't mean I have to be like, I'm not giving y'all no money. I ain't got to respond like that.
Right.
But I also do not have to put myself or give off the frequency or the vibration that I'm available all the time. I control that.
Right.
When a person, you got a right to say, okay, this is not working for me in this moment. Because we forget that maybe it's just a moment.
Yeah.
Especially when you're having an argument with your spouse. This I'm not feeling this right now.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Let me go deal with something and come back. So you have to be able to find the balance in the closure, find the balance in the conversation, find the balance in the process. Because again, you may be the problem. But then if you're not the problem, make sure that you are handling everything internally so that you don't have to go back to justify, rectify, clarify, and you're able to walk away clean and clear. And if the person do not get that understanding, that's not your fault, as long as you communicated it very well. If you just fall off and they don't know why you fell off, then you are a bad communicator. Because I should be able, when me and the first friend that the second friend that we ever broke up as friends, she knew why. It wasn't even about closure. I told you why we can't be friends now.
Yeah.
I let her deal with herself. I dealt with mine. Years passed. But I love her. She's my friend. She's still my friend now. And we came back together. I didn't need closure. It wasn't working for me right then because of what you did.
Okay.
So you knew. I'm not, so it's so like how you say, you go in and you try to make sure the person is clear on why it is, but sometimes it doesn't take all of that. It's like, listen, right now it's just not it, and that's perfectly fine. Yeah. I'm not going, I don't know. You have to, I think when we go to that building boundaries and trying to set expectations, you're setting expectations for where you are now. So if I'm telling you I don't like Parmesan chicken, give me a couple of months. I might get some banging ass Parmesan chicken. Now I'm all on it. Yeah. So quit making an all in all statement when it comes down to these situations, because what will happen where you say, for example, you bless me with a $1,000 gift and we broke up because I didn't pay you back. So our friendship is damaged because I didn't pay you back. 6 years from now, you still mad because I owe you that $1,000, but I done hit it. I'm big balling now, and I come back and give you 10,000. But because you put up that wall where you didn't want to deal with me and you done got closure, you did this, you just lost out on 10,000. We can go, and that's the same thing what happened with that movie, Tyler Perry movie, Acrimony. Yeah. She was so bitter, so hurt that when he did come back to try to fix it, she had so many blocks. He still slapped that $10 million check in her hand, but she could have had more if she didn't have all those blocks. If she could have just been able to look past and say, this man has changed. Let me give it another opportunity. Because some people do, some people don't deserve the space, but that doesn't mean they deserve your ass either. That part. I don't have to tolerate what you give, but that doesn't mean that mean I'm not going to tolerate you. Yeah. I love you. I'm not going to allow it to hinder my growth. I'm not going to allow our relationship to diminish my existence because you couldn't handle the love that I was giving you. That's not my fault. Right. So with that being said, I'm still not going to kiss your ass either. So no, you can't come to my house. No, we're not going to sit on the phone, but I'm also not going to see you hungry. I'm also not going to see you without. Right. I'm going to still hold you in that place in my heart because I truly loved you. But that trust is gone. You remember, what's the guy, the relationship guru? Derek. Remember he said, what was that next level love language that we don't think about? Safety. Yeah. Yeah. And we have to look at that in friendships. Yeah. Family ships, relationship. It's all about safety. Yeah. Am I safe with you? Anything else is irrelevant. Am I safe with you? Yeah. And if I'm not safe, get the hell on. But I'm not changing. Right. I just can't allow you in my space to disrupt my safety. Yeah. That's a great point. And you know what? Let's expound on that just a little bit, because there may be some younger people that are watching and tuning in and trying to navigate, how to manage relationships. And they're wondering, what is a safe place, a safe space in terms of relationship? When am I safe enough to be vulnerable? When am I safe enough to continue to share more about myself? What does that safety look like? Can you kind of help us determine what that might look like? It looks like a lot. So one safety matters that we don't look at in relationships. Am I safety to grow? Now I'm gonna stay on this growing thing,
Okay.
Am I safe to grow? Are you going to be jealous because I got
That's
a
a
better
going.
job?
Yeah.
Are
Great
you
point.
going to be trying to sabotage? That's safety.
Mhm.
And I'm going to tell you, hey, Fred, I got a new position, and you envy, you're hurting, you mad on the inside. You're
Right.
not celebrating me. You really want me to have a downfall. I'm not safe with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Am I safe enough to trust you to circulate my money into you? Why? Because money is a seed.
Mhm.
It is used to plant. You sow it, and anything you sow comes up with a harvest. And are you safe enough to where if I loan you, give you, or whatever into your life, that there's a good fruit that's going to come from that, whether
Mhm.
it's for your benefit or my benefit? Because
Mhm.
everything is not happening all at the same time. It'll happen later. You plant
Yeah.
a tree now, it ain't gonna be ready for right now. It's gonna be ready later.
Yeah.
So I'm investing in you in the form of a seed. Am I safe enough to tell you my secrets? And regardless of how mad or you are at me, nobody else will hear it.
Great point.
Because
Great.
Facebook will tell it all.
Okay. And don't mind.
Remember when you did this? Remember you used to pee the bed? Now that's kind of funny. I probably wouldn't say. But remember you used to do like, yo,
Yeah.
when me and my friend broke up in those years, never told a soul. Because you told me that in confidence. So
Right.
why am I using that opportunity now to bless you, even though you did it to me? So am I safe enough to where if I'm in need, you're going to be there and not exploit it? Well, I
Right.
helped you when you was down. Okay, bitch. And
Throw it in my face. Right. Yeah.
to me, that's safe. Am I safe enough to leave you around my wife?
Oh man, that is
Am I
huge.
safe enough to leave you around my children?
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I safe enough to where in any particular situation, you're able to make the best decision towards me? Are you safe enough to handle somebody coming to you about me and you handling it correctly? Because you're my friend.
Mhm.
You're
Mhm.
able to check that person and say, listen, I'm your friend, I'm their friend. What you're not going to do is come to me about that person because.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't require a title of best friend, friend. No, that's a friend. It's safe.
Mhm. Mhm. You don't have to ask.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Am
I agree with
I
that.
safe to where if you and your spouse is having a problem, you can come to me, tell me everything, and I still respect her
Yeah.
100,000%.
Right.
That's safe. Because
Yeah.
I don't need you hating on her because I'm mad at her. Hell, let
Right.
me hate on her.
Exactly.
So
All
to
great
me,
points.
yeah, that's safety. It's like if I can't trust you to go into my house when I'm not there, can I trust you
Man.
to hold my ATM card and just get $20 out? Well,
Okay.
one, I don't like
Listen.
ATM fees anyway, but so I'm not going.
Man, your wife said you was preaching right. I was just about to say you coaching right now. You was coaching.
But that's safety, and
Yeah.
we look at it like that's my friend. You might ride or die, bitch. I'm not trying to die with you. Now we can ride. I ain't dying with you. You can
Exactly.
go ahead and but I will live with you.
Right. Exactly.
And
All
we
great
and
points,
yeah.
man.
So
Yeah.
what do you
So
feel is safety? What's the safety look like to you?
all of those things are spot on, and in fact, I really didn't consider a good deal of them. One other thing I might add is, or I should say, how I've carried myself. I've always said that there's certain people that I can trust with certain things, right? And you
Mhm.
know who those people are, right?
Right.
So I would say I could trust my grandmother with my ATM card. She was actually on my banking account, for the
Right.
time period that she, and I could trust that she wasn't gonna go shopping. I'm overseas, and
Mhm.
doing what I'm doing, and she going, and swiping. But I knew that if I were to trust my mother with those same responsibilities, I might be missing a couple $100, right? Now
Listen,
she
I
gonna
got
give
a
them
couple of
back,
that.
but I might be missing a couple $100 when I
Right.
get back. So you realize what you can trust certain people with certain things, right? My
Right.
wife, she may ask me what credit card she can she can run down.
Yeah, I swear we got one in the same. She'd be like, what number? What's the last four? I'm like, why do you have it saved?
So feeling safe to be able to say, listen, sweetheart, I'm giving you these cards, right? I'm giving you the same access that I have. I'm trusting you not to max them out, right? And I trust my wife enough to be able to say that, right? It's the thank God.
Right.
But then there's also, like you said, there could be a trust issue with a coworker that I may share, some things that happen administratively that maybe one of us was disciplined for or another person was disciplined for, and I share it with that person. Can I trust them to be able to hold that information and know that it's between us? Sometimes it's good to know stuff and not know. And I tell people that all the time. You know something, but you don't know.
Right.
That is, I mean, and
that's big.
I live by that. It sometimes some people will come to you and ask you, "Did you know this?" And I act like I have no idea what they're talking about.
I don't know
and
nothing.
I know
I'm
exactly
like,
what they're talking about. It's okay to
my
know
God. And I've been sitting there like,
not
oh my
know.
God. Right.
Okay?
I'm like, did that happen? Oh my God.
But all of those things are things you got to learn.
Exactly. And I think the biggest thing in relationships is, can I trust you with my heart?
Yeah.
One, because it took me a long time to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And the word says, guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it flows the issues of life.
Okay.
Every conversation that you have in your heart, he said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So we know in our heart chakra, because we're not talking about our physical beating heart, and our heart chakra, that in that moment, everything about me is where that is housed. Mm-hmm. And in a relationship, when I gave you my last name, I also gave you that. And how you dealt with it also shows what level of safety I could deal with it. Prime example, when especially lesbians get in relationships, we come into relationships and we tell the new one about our past, about everything that happened to us, about our ex. And we don't tell them what we did. We tell them about everything else. So then most lesbians will say, I never do you like that. Oh no, I would love you too much. And as soon as you get an argument, every damn thing that she called you, they calling you.
Yeah.
Again, am I safe to tell you the hurts that I went through, how I got over them, and you don't play the dozen with me? You don't joke about it.
Right.
To me, I'm entrusting you. And when you break that, that's a hard place to come back from. Mm-hmm. That's a hard place.
Yeah.
And
in some cases, it might end the relationship.
Oh, it does. Even if it ends it emotionally, it's done. That doesn't mean we have to move on. I tell it because you know what? That doesn't mean we're done. That just means emotionally, I have totally severed that relationship, and it takes a lot to get that back, because I trusted you. I needed you to be in that space that I never let anybody else in, and you did not appreciate the fact that I allowed you in that space. No, it's a lot. And I think with that to me, that's a closure, because that's a conversation. I gave you a place in my life that I gave nobody else, and you belittled it, you downgraded it, you took advantage of it, and I can't allow you to sit there anymore. That doesn't mean you can't be somewhere around me. It's just you can't sit here. I'm at the mean girl table. You can't sit here. You can sit over there. That's fine, but you can't sit here.
Yeah. I would agree with that. So let's pivot just a little bit, right? So I'm going to ask you a question, and if you need to take some time, you can take some time. Do you think in this day and age that culturally or society-wise that determines those external resources, it determine how or when we decide to end any portion of relationship? Do you think that has any influence on it?
So we're talking about external resources like social media,
culturally influence, society influence.
Absolutely, because I do, because some people don't have a brain of their own.
Okay.
So if the thing is, I'm not spinning the block, okay, now everybody not spinning the block. When we came out, when we started walking in our truth, all of a sudden everything wanted to be gay.
Yeah.
And it's like it's to me, when you're not emotionally sound
Mm-hmm.
and mature and you're aware, it is easier for you to pick up on certain things that resonated with you in that moment and
Mm-hmm.
make that your story, make that your direction, make that your life. And it's like, that's really not you.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to have a decision of your own on how you handle different things.
Right.
I don't, I feel that social media plays a part. It even plays a part in how we
Yes.
communicate with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Man, everything, bro. You know how young kids do it. Everybody, bro. Hell, my 11-year-old said that to me the other day, and I'm sitting there like, who are you talking to? And so, oh, I think you kind of froze up on me. So, and so when we're so influenced by our culture, not realizing we're the culture drivers, then you're still going to have, then you're a follower. You're not even leading or allowing people to pick up on the culture that you're establishing. So yeah, and it's breaking down the generations because they're not going to see anything outside of that. You know, right now I think all generations are starting to see, you know, in social media as the way of life. And what we're seeing is that a lot of these TikTokers, a lot of these content creators, they're living false identities. We're accepting it, but they're living false identities, false lives for the name of social media. But we aim to be that. And where are we going with it? You know, and I'm going, while I'm waiting for my other host to come back online, I'm going to put it on you. When I grow up, I want to be just like me. I don't want to be like nobody else. I don't want your money. I want mine. I don't want your lifestyle. I want my lifestyle. I like my name. I like what I see in the mirror. I like who I present myself to be. I love everything about me. And with that being said, I don't need to look at or take on any other person's persona in order to be me.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, you was stuck. It was a good stuck though. It wasn't an ugly
Yeah.
stuck. It was a good stuck. But and that's, so I was just keeping on with the whole social media thing. And I was just like, I to wrap that part up. No, if you are a true person, you shouldn't follow fashion versus style,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have so many people that's after fashion, they lack style. I
Mm.
wear short sleeves in the summer, winter. I don't care because it's not about fashion to me. I like my
Mm-hmm.
style
Yeah.
because when I put on my clothes, I feel the way I want it to feel in that moment. I don't care if it's a heel. Now I don't wear stiletto pumps anymore, so not that kind of heel. But I got a nice pointed toe boot that got a good heel on it, and I walk just fine in it.
Yeah.
But that's, to me, that's style. That's me. It ain't, you don't have to wear it, but I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to go and I don't look good in hoochie daddy shorts. My hips too big. So why am I putting on hoochie daddy shorts? I'm not a fashion follower. Same
Right.
thing like you. You're not a fashion follower. Your style is yours.
Yeah.
You match it, and the way you show up in it shows up more than the actual clothes you have on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why do we follow social media or follow certain cultural things other than being the leader in that culture? Because everybody takes our culture anyway. Our
Yeah.
culture is dope. It's so diverse. It's so big, and it's so influential. But
Mm-hmm.
we don't see it as that. We don't value our culture, but everybody else do.
Yeah. I
We
get
don't
that too.
value our dollar. We don't value our existence. We don't value the value of our skin. We don't value what we bring to the table. We don't value none of that. And if somebody else doesn't acknowledge it and value it, then you have a problem. No, you're the problem because I'm going to
Yeah.
present myself of who I am and accept it.
Yeah. I agree. So I agree that social media and cultural influences or external influences can determine whether or not how you deal with your relationship. I 100% agree. We always talk about, every winter is cuffing season, and people, they want to find somebody that they can, cuddle up to or whatever.
Right.
That's again brought on by external resources that influence you and how you move or behave in relationships. What I can say is that, thank God, I've never, fallen into those trap falls. But what I can say is, there's been times where, in much younger self, where whatever you're going through with whomever you're going through, it shows up on social media. It may be very bland,
my God,
very generic, but those people who are in inner circles or who may or may not know the both of you all, they know, hey, there's something going on there.
Because I ain't gonna lie, because I screenshot it and I passed it right in the little group. Did y'all see such and such? I'm going to pass your information because you're stupid. You're stupid for putting it on there. And it's not only that, if we can stay in that vein real quick, people put up, they in the hospital. Don't call, don't ask, I'm not wasting my prayer on you because you got a cold. I'm not, every time you go into the emergency room, they're going to put an IV in anyway. It's standard. That doesn't mean you getting anything different just because they put an IV in. Please, people, stop posting pictures of you with an IV in. It's not that serious. I don't care. Don't ask me to pray for you because you got an STD. No, get yourself fixed and learn from your behavior. That's why when people don't tell me to pray for you and don't tell me why.
Man, you're a mess.
I'm being real. When people put stuff on Facebook, my wife said it last night. No, I'm not going to acknowledge it unless I'm making fun of you. Yeah. I'm not going to see you post something and then come back to you. Are you okay? No, you was okay enough because you posted it.
Yeah.
You was fine. You wasn't crying that hard that you couldn't see you didn't have no typos. So you wasn't crying that hard. You saw everything. And they live out loud. And it's like, but then, they live out loud, but then quick to say, I'm private. I don't tell people. Bitch, you lying. You know good. You just posted it.
Yeah.
Every week you posting a new girlfriend.
Yeah.
Every week you're posting, I won't take this no more. I'm learning my lesson. New year, new me. Shut up. You're lying.
You are absolutely right. Listen, I can tell you that my timeline has gotten a lot better. And the reason it's gotten better is because I go through and I filter, and all those people who have that kind of drama and consistently have that drama, me and you can't be Facebook social media friends because I don't want that energy in my space. Right?
Exactly. So this, I'm going to segue to the other book. Exactly. You are what you eat, what you entertain, what you attract, and what you think. So that stuff that they putting up there, you're going to be taking it in. It goes in your mind, your digestive system, and it really messes up with your system. And you cannot take in other people's stuff. I'm telling you, it was
they really just want their attention.
They're attention whores. And I'm gonna tell it. And I don't care if they see it, I don't care. I'm gonna tell it. So I had of course, my frat name is Debonair.
Yeah.
For years, I was the only one that had that name. I never said it was mine exclusive. I just know for years, for the people in the organizations that I see, I'm the only one that had that name. I've always made the statement there only can be one because it was one. There was only one. So I got some cufflinks that has Debonair, on them, and I posted them on Facebook. And I said, it says Debonair, they're mine. Can't nobody come take them. So I said there only can be one. Some person takes that and makes a whole post about it. You acting like names can't be duplicated. Went in. And I'm sitting there like, I didn't even know this was happening. And exactly. There's still only one. And so it really took it to their feelings. And their person was named Debonair as well. Okay, well, bitch, I didn't even know. And made it this big old situation. The next thing you know, her girls' org was mad at our org and they mad at me because I said, but I always say there only can be there's only one. That's my thing. I'm very proud to be a 7, and I'm very proud to be debonair. And so it just escalated from there. But the truth of the matter is, are you still with that person?
Oh, that part.
Because I was about to spill it. Jesus, thank you.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
But you live your life out loud too.
Yeah.
And what saved you was my honorary founders telling me not to respond because I put my phone number up there because I said, call me. Because one thing about me, I'm always ready for the smoke.
Yeah.
Always.
Sure.
I don't start it, but I do carry around a can of gas just in case I need to help you ignite the situation. Always. I'm prepared. Always.
Yeah.
And so people act like they live in secret, but their life is exposed. And I tell you what I want you to know about my life. I don't care what you use because I'll tell it first. I'm not going to give you that ammunition. But people who post their life on social media, they give you that ammunition. I mean, what's the word? Dang, I said the wrong word. They give you the ability to be able to use that information against them. And one thing about it, I pack that information away just in case if I need to unpack it and hand it back to you.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there like, you started all of this drama about a name and you ain't even with her no more.
They was in their feelings, man.
And we know why, because you posted it. We know what happened because they posted it. But I don't get it. So stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
You making yourself look bad. I'm telling you, I just sit back and I watch and I look and I'm like, it's not that serious.
Really it can be definitely entertaining. I agree.
It do. Now I ain't gonna lie, somebody do be funny though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, social media should be somewhat entertaining. However, let's look at it for just that, right? We
entertainment purposes only.
That's what the disclaimer that we should have. So let me segue just a little bit beyond that, right? Do you feel like sometimes unresolved issues somehow find themselves in your future situationships?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Your name is so is always present. Absolutely. Because a lot of people been going through the thing called shadow work.
Yeah.
Inner work. You have to do that because the stereotypical lesbian, but you're doing the Pepe Le Pew. You're just bouncing. And what you're doing is just gathering trash and dirt and dust to take over to the next one. And not knowing if you could just wait. It's a blessing in the wait. Just wait.
Do your work. Yeah, some work.
Do the work. Find out what's going on, because if you were the problem, you need to figure out where did that problem stem from. Is it from a family hurt? Right? Is it from, it could be from a relationship, or it could be an idea that you concocted in your own head.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, not a lot, let me back that up. Some people build their relationships off of how they saw their parents' relationship or their relationship with their parent.
Okay.
I was one of those people. Like, for example, with my mom, we loved forever, but we had a lot of difficulty. So I made a lot of my decisions based off of her relationships, the way our relationship was, that it's just certain things I'm not going to do.
Okay.
Nope, absolutely not. With my dad, it was the same thing. When we were distant from each other, I made a conscious decision. I'm not going to do this because I know how it feels to be absent. This is. So you make those decisions, but then it became a trauma response.
Okay.
So then my love language is gift giving. But in the beginning, I will overdo it because I'm trying to get you to love me.
Okay.
That was a trauma response from my mom. her love language is gifts. She,
Mhm.
she loves, oh, bring it to me. Oh, that's how you know. Back then they don't know how much you love them today. You give them money. That's how they knew how much you love them.
Mhm.
And so I overcompensated to get her love by just giving. And I took that over into relationships.
Okay.
Where my first relationship, it wasn't until we broke up when I realized she had never bought me anything in the 3 years we was together.
Mhm.
When I say never, not a shirt, not a sock,
Dang.
not a dinner. The house was in my name. Now her car was in her name, my car was in my name, but I paid all the bills. It was just a lot. And my eyes didn't wake up until we broke up. And I'm like, and it was after Christmas because I
Yeah.
asked for one thing. And it's sad that I remember this shit, but I asked for one thing. I asked for it was a fur coat that I wanted, a little cutoff bomber it was a bomb ass coat, and I asked for it. It was $70,
Mhm.
and I asked her for it, and she came in the house, and I did 25 days of Christmas, so she had a gift for every day up in the Christmas because I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm gonna think of some shit to do, and that's what I did. So I'm giving a gift. I'm all excited. I didn't expect it back. I expected my coat because that's all I asked for. And on Christmas Day, I gave her last gift, and it was a big gift. And I'm sitting there, and there was nothing for me.
Mm.
And she walked in, in the room, and she came back out, and she took $70 and threw it at me. And she said, "Well, there's your money for your coat." And my friend Heidi was there. Heidi jumped up, and I just sat there, and that was my okay, bitch. That was my moment.
Yeah.
And I had to realize that in my next relationship, I'm not taking that I need to show you how much I love without you showing me how much you love me.
Right.
I don't need that gift to be $100 just because I got you $100 gift. It could have been a rock. Abby bring me rocks all the time, and I literally have every rock she's went outside and got. It's all about the sentiment. To me, it's the thought. That's why I'm a gift giver, because I thought about this gift for you. Like, I know they're going to like this. And so, no, and if I would have went into my next relationship, I would have took that same trauma response.
Yeah.
Not dealing with the fact of, why do I give so much? Why am I not giving them space to show me how much they love me? And she cheated with a boy. She cheated with a girl because I was working 2 jobs. So she was sleeping with, while I'm on my 3rd shift, the girl that worked on the 2nd shift, she was sleeping with that one at the house while I was on 3rd shift. It was a lot. So I realized that it's no matter what you do, you have to fix you.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't go into the next situation in a space to where you can discern what's going on, identify it, be able to be happy within yourself, because it's still about you. I don't have to show you how to love me, because if I do, you're going to misinterpret it. Because if I'm showing you how I give love, you're going to think that's how I'm want the love back, and that's not it. Because my love, the way I receive love, is acts of service. It's not about the gift. It's about you. Don't, and Shay, no, I'm big on this. Don't ask me, do I need help? Bitch, come help me. Even if it's something small, by helping with the dishes. Don't ask me, you want me to come help you with the dishes? It's an automatic no, I don't. Because you shouldn't have had to ask. So when people say I teach people how to love me, I don't. Because the way I give love and the way I receive love is 2 different things. So I can't tell you how to love me. My thing is for you to be mature enough to learn me to love me.
Good points. Yeah. I agree. I could say for me, I have definitely taken some things from previous relationships. A lot of them didn't work, if I'm being honest, or 100% transparent. And then sometimes there's things that that I took with me that I needed, right? Whether it was the ability to be able to listen, I'm not going to, stay longer than I need to, or Maybe it's a matter of, me allowing enough time or energy for me to feel safe enough in this relationship.
Mm.
If I need to continue on, or if I need to exit, stage left, or whatever that looks like.
Come on.
So yeah, there was a lot of things that both good and bad that I took from relationship to relationship, and then of course those things that I learned that didn't serve me in those spaces, I got rid of.
Right.
But again, that's just something that you learn. I feel like you learn.
You
Uh,
learn.
right. So I guess to tie things up for tonight's show, right? How do we end relationships in a positive and in a healthy way? Um, we learned that we don't necessarily always have to have closure, right?
Right.
It doesn't. It
Mhm.
may not look like having a conversation to give that person, comfort, right? It may not look like that, and we grow upward, and then we ascend and descend. But there's a lot of conversation that we had tonight that we should be able to learn from and take from, that will be of service and helpful to us, to be able to
Right.
take into our relationships, whether it's family members, co-workers, marriages, situationships, whatever that is, right?
Mhm.
Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up? We appreciate again all the people in the chat who've chimed
I
in.
know they have been engaging, and we thank you and we love you for
For sure.
showing up,
Yeah.
being there, sharing everything. I think you summed it up, and I think that we have to continue to position ourselves
Yeah.
to where we're only responsible for ourselves. I'm not, I don't, and I'm gonna use that as an example, and I promise I'm gonna end it up. When me and you met, I never asked you or never said, "Do you want to learn how to love me?" Not one time.
True. True.
When we started getting to know each other, and you pick up on stuff that you learn, and even as a friend. Now, granted, you snooped around a little bit when you sent me the gift for when I got out the hospital.
You got to do your homework.
You got to do your homework, and that shows what level a person is willing to go to be your friend. Oh no,
Right.
excuse me, not to just be your friend, to be a friend, and that's worth it. If a person is not willing to do anything to show you how much they care, how much you're important to them,
Hmm.
then you already know that it's at the end of the road.
Yeah.
Nobody should have to tell you, girl, they ain't good enough for you. No, you should have been seeing that.
Yeah.
But then the reason why I don't have those conversations with people is because it ain't my job to tell you they're not good for you.
Yeah. You got
Because
to
I'm
come
from
to
the
that
outside
conclusion.
looking in. If you're coming to me continually complaining about the same girl, the same boy, the same situation, you want to be there because you hear yourself just the way I heard you. So if you heard your own audible conversation, then
Yeah.
make the decision to do better.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
want your attention. You just want somebody to listen, and I ain't got time to do that.
Yeah.
And those type friends, now them you have to say, listen, today I don't want to have that conversation. It's going to hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
And you have to be prepared to say, it doesn't mean I don't want to be your friend, but that part of our friendship, I can't give you. I don't
Right.
have the energy to give you.
Yeah.
So you make that determination what a friendship looks like, when it needs to end,
Hmm.
but don't end it just because of you're having an impulse. Don't end it because, well, my ex did it. That doesn't mean this person did it just because they had a one time.
Yeah.
Create your own life, and I
Yeah.
promise you, it'll work out for you.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's only one thing left to do. I will say this. It's one thing I tell my grandkids. I ask them how many ears they have, and I tell them, they say, I got two. And I tell them, I said, well, that means you're supposed to listen more and talk less. The only thing I'm going to add to that
Come
is
on now.
be
I
observant.
like that.
Be
Be
observant.
observant.
You will know, like Coach Joy said, when it's time to end the relationship.
You'll
right?
know.
You
Mhm.
will know. All right. So peace out. We'll see you guys next week. We love you, and have a regal mindset.
Absolutely.